What's up, everybody? We're the Buckmires.
And welcome to our YouTube channel.
We are so excited to have you guys here today for our first official episode where we are going to talk through how we met and what we learned in our first year of marriage.
Yes.
So we are going to kind of go through the story of how we met. So shout out to Bumble, because that is where we met online. And shout out to all the people who have met their significant others online. We met at the beginning of 2020, so AKA the COVID year. And yeah, we just we swiped on each other and we had an initial conversation. And then that initial conversation led to a phone call later that was about, I don't know, 3 hours.
Yeah, about three and a half, yeah.
Yeah, 3 hours long. And then after that, it kind of just
blossomed.
Yes, it's not. I don't want to say it's sped up, but it's sped up.
Yeah.
Because we both knew what we wanted out of a relationship. We knew that one another was taking things seriously. So we just were like, all right, like let's see how this goes. I will say though, however, that I was a bit resistant in the beginning. Because I had some experiences the year prior, and I was just like, I do not want to do this. But he ended up being a 10 out of 10. So
persistence is key, guys.
Oh my, okay, yeah, persistence is key. So yeah, we started dating. We were able to be like in a close vicinity of each other for like the first 5 or 6 months of our relationship. And then I had to come back to finish grad school, and he stayed where he was at to do work. So the latter part of our relationship was distance. I mean, it was only 2 hours, but it was still distance. Like I couldn't just freely get up and leave due to my job and his job and stuff like that. So
yeah. A lot of traveling.
Yes. Lots of driving back and forth. But when it's for the right person,
yes,
you're willing to do it, and you're willing to like drive as far or fly or take a boat, whatever the case is. You're willing to do it when you know that it's like the person that you're supposed to be with. So yeah, and then we dated for a year and a couple of months, maybe, or a month after our 1 year anniversary. He put a ring on it. And it was beautiful. Yeah. It was very unique to us. Maybe we'll like put pictures in here. So like I'll put a picture of the proposal right here. Boop. And yeah, it was beautiful, and we were with our families, and it was just great.
Awesome. Yeah.
Were you nervous when you proposed?
Oh yeah, I was very nervous. I remember that day I was with my dad, and I actually was practicing getting on one knee.
Oh gosh, so, you practiced? I didn't know that.
I practiced, and I had my pops. He was rolling, laughing and stuff, and it was I had to practice over and over again. And then when I got there, it was like showtime. Yeah. I saw your dad and everything in there, and it got normal until I saw you come down the stairs. I knew what was about to happen. So then I got back to being nervous a little bit until I got down on my knee. Yeah. And she said yes. That was like the longest 2 minutes of my life.
Really? I think I was the opposite because context. My parents had planned a game night, and I thought it was just us being, comfortable at home, like chilling, just the family, very low key. So I had like gone up and changed my clothes and like gotten comfortable. And then I see him and his dad and his stepmom walk in, and I was really confused because I was like, okay, we did not have a conversation about your dad and your stepmom coming. So initially I was upset because I was like, why didn't he tell me that? Like I was gonna be meeting his dad, because that was like the first time that I was meeting his dad in person. Like we had, had calls and stuff and FaceTimes. So I was just like, what is going on? But shout out to my mom. She was like, just go upstairs, change your clothes. It's gonna be fine. So went upstairs, still didn't like change into anything cute. I just put on like not sweatpants. But after that, and you know, my dad says like, let's play a game. My family loves Scrabble. So my dad pulls out the Scrabble board and he's trying to take it out the box, and then we see, and then I look at the look on the Scrabble board, and it says, "Will you marry me?" And like, I think that was the moment that I was like, "Oh goodness, what's happening?" And then I hear like everything goes silent, and then I see people shift to like one side of the room, and then he was behind me and he proposed, and it was great and it was beautiful, and I, you know. Second best day of my life. Our wedding day.
Yes.
Of course, was like top tier. It was beautiful. And yeah, so like I said, we've been married for a year now, a year and a month.
Yes.
We're professionals now.
Yeah.
Not really. But like I said, we wanted to just share, just like a couple. I don't know. It doesn't have to be a couple, but just some things that we have learned in our first year of marriage, because that saying that like the first year of marriage is like the hardest. I agree with that statement, in that, you know, you're bringing two lives together, two experiences, two viewpoints, like all of that, and into one home. Like we didn't live together before we got married, so you know,
everything's traditional.
Yeah, so I didn't know like how he, you know, his morning routine and like all of that stuff that when you live together, I guess people kind of know. So yeah, we've just had to like ebb and flow and learn. So do you want to go first with one thing that you've learned?
Okay. For me, the one thing I learned is patience is key. Patience is a virtue. There's gonna be moments in our marriage, there were moments where, had I not been patient, it would have probably gone a different direction. And patience is love. Like, you have to, in order for you to fully love somebody, you have to be patient with them. You have to learn somebody. In order for you to learn your spouse, your significant other, you have to be patient in doing so. Because nothing's going to happen overnight. So yeah, that's one thing I've learned. What about you, babe?
I think for me, communication, like I know people say that, but like just learning how to communicate differently. Like the way that I communicate with you is different than the way that I communicate with like one of my homegirls or like my mom, or like, you know, like I can be very sarcastic, and even sometimes that can slide into look at that face, oh my goodness, that can sometimes slide into like being passive aggressive. And like, while I can be sarcastic, overly sarcastic with like my girlfriends or like my friends, or and it be like joking and lighthearted, doing that with you can cause tension sometimes, because like he may be being very serious about something or communicating something to me, and if like I'm like being sarcastic or being passive aggressive, like that is not going to help with the resolution in the discussion or whatever it is that we're going through. So just learning how to communicate, and as scripture says, like seasoning my words with grace, and like making sure the way that I'm communicating things, whether I'm frustrated or angry or overwhelmed, that it never comes across in a way that like I'm demeaning him or just devaluing him as my husband. I think that's the word, devaluing. Sounds right. So yeah, just communication, I think, is the biggest thing that I feel like I've had to adjust, because I want to make sure that how I speak and the words that I say to my husband, about my husband, over my husband, are kind and gracious and full of truth, and are saturated in what Christ says. Because whether we want to believe it or not, ladies, our words, we know how to cut with our words, and we can say some things, and we, you know, so I think that's just like the main thing, is just making sure my words are uplifting and kind, no matter how I'm feeling, and no matter you know, what I may be going through, or you know, anything like that. So
yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else? Did you feel like you've learned?
I also learned being slow to anger, and slow to speak and quick to listen. So God gave us 2 ears, 1 mouth for a reason, guys. And sometimes our pride could be our downfall. Because there'll be things that in our marriage there were things that we had discussions about, and it was. She was being honest with me in a way, in a transparency way, and because of my pride, I didn't receive it the way I was supposed to receive it, because she came in the most loving way. And after I died to myself daily, as you're supposed to do, I realized that all she was doing was being my help, being my rib, let me know what it was.
Yeah.
And when I realized that, I said, I came back humbly, and I said, babe, I'm sorry. And being able to do that goes a long way, and it allows your marriage to grow in a healthy way, in a healthy direction. So guys, kill your pride, bro. If you're trying to get married, bro.
Yeah. I think that's not just for guys. I think that's for people in general. Like if you want to be, if you want to be married, like you said, it's dying to yourself daily, and remembering that like after the Lord, like it's your significant other. It's like, okay, what am I gonna do today to like serve and support and help the person that I am doing life with? Like, if it's just about you and you're only focused on you, might wanna that's gonna be like our thumbnail. Like that's gonna be what it is, because you just want to make sure that you are, again, not saying that you have to be perfect. Like no one when they get married is perfect, but if you're not willing to adapt, if you're not willing to change, if you're not willing to be flexible, if you're not willing to, like you said, die to yourself, marriage is gonna feel like the worst thing in the world. Yes. Because that, like you said, it is like us daily dying to ourselves. And I like what you said about like apologizing. I think that's also something that's important. Just having a apologetic spirit, but not like you can just like walk all over me type like spirit. So you get what I'm trying to say. Absolutely. Of like, hey, if I'm wrong, like I'm gonna apologize, and I'm gonna be sincere in that apology, so that we can continue to grow, and we can continue to mature in our marriage, and ultimately mature as a person. Like if you aren't willing to apologize and say sorry for things that you've done wrong, or the way that if you've hurt someone, like that, I think that means that there's like a lack of maturity there. And apologizing is not saying like sorry if you felt like, or sorry that you felt like, and it's like or adding but. It's just like no, you can't apologize like that. And I'm speaking to myself too, because in the beginning of marriage, like if Hayden would bring up something, I would be like, well, I'm sorry that you feel that way. And it was like, okay, no, like that's not actually me apologizing. That's me ultimately putting it back on you and being like, well, I'm sorry that you have this feeling about it, instead of being like, hey, I'm so sorry that this action that I did made you feel as though fill in the blank. You're taking ownership for it. And I think, again, like that is what marriage is about, like taking ownership and being willing to say, all right, I was wrong in this, or like, I made the wrong decision, or I should have gotten your opinion on this, or whatever the case may be. So
and you gotta also remember that when you're married to somebody, you're not biblically it talks about the man being the head of the household. Absolutely. Also in that context, your wife is your co-leader. Like she holds you down. Like it's not about you being a macho man. I'm the king of this household, and everything goes through me, and I'm not gonna seek her opinion. Now that's also a downfall to your marriage. Don't do that. But just as my wife was saying, in a loving way, like you have to be able to apologize in a sincere way, and you may not get forgiveness right then and there. That's okay. It's just you need to get your heart, make sure your heart is right, and God will work through that. And you have to allow God to do that. But if you're rushing and trying to be God, you're going to fail. Because there's only one God and you're not him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I think patience, communication, being willing to apologize, being gracious, and then also having a community of people around you, I think is so important, and we're so thankful for the community of people that we have, and the Lord has blessed us with in our first year of marriage. Like, just have couples around you that, like, you can laugh with, and, like, couples that you know will be praying for you and will be supporting you, and couples that will be objective and not, like, be like, okay, well, I'm on your side, girl, or yeah, I'm on your side, because that is just gonna breed division, and you don't want division in your marriage. Like, the point of marriage is oneness and pursuing oneness with each other in your relationship. So if you have people in your life, in your community, that, like, are very divisive in the way that they communicate, of like, oh, well, girl, you know, I'm on your side, and who cares what he thinks, and yada yada yada, like, the face. It's like, you don't want that. But again, like I said, we're so thankful for the community of people that the Lord has blessed us with and put in our lives, that, like, hey, if I can call up my best friend and be like, hey, like, this is what is, not go into detail, but just be like, hey, can you just pray for my marriage, or hey, can you just pray for, you know, a general topic, and I know that they are going to be praying, and just making sure that they, like, are for us and with us. So
and getting, of course, when my wife said getting people around you to build your marriage, also separately, you know, because you guys not just are a unit, you guys are separate people as well. You guys are different individuals. Individuals as well. Thank you. So get people around you that's gonna hold you accountable as a man or woman of God, you know, and put your feet to the fire. Okay, you're doing right. Okay, cool. You can do better in this area. So you can always do better. Right? Or if you're doing bad in the area, okay, how can we fix this? Right? And being able to receive it, not as who does he think he is, or who does she think he is, but all right, cool. She's telling me, or he's telling me this for a reason. Let me look at that. You know, and apply that to your marriage. Cause that's gonna apply it to yourself first of all, and then apply it to your marriage. Cause that's gonna work. You know, and definitely get believers. Don't just get anybody.
yes, that's true. Get people that are mature, that, you know, love the Lord, that you know, like you said, that will call you out, and that aren't just gonna, like, shy away and be like, I see something wrong, but I'm not gonna say anything. Because that is so, again, that's so important. So, do you have? I was going to say, do you have anything else?
And just know too, in marriage, you have to love each other. You may not always like each other, but you're gonna love each other. Through the good and bad days. Because at the end of the day, after God, this is your team, right? Your spouse is your team. That's your go-to after God. So have fun with it. You know, you guys are best friends first. You guys are friends first. You know, and once you get married, that's the covenant, and you don't break that covenant. As the Bible says, what God puts together, let no man put apart. And you guys can also be the man who can pull you guys apart. So don't let the devil cause a wedge between you guys. Do the work, and you will see fruition.
See it come to fruition. Like you said, have fun. Marriage is fun. Yes. Like, I don't want you guys to hear us talking and be like, oh my goodness, this is a lot. But no, it's so much fun being able to just have a partner and a friend and a lover and just all of the things, like, wrapped into one. And when God is in the middle of it, that just supersedes it, and it extends it just even more. But like, that's all that we have for you for today. Be sure to come back for our next episode. And be sure to subscribe and like and share and do all the things. Because we just want this to be a platform where we can just speak into, hopefully, marriages and relationships and just life in general. And that by no means that we're perfect and that we have it all together. But, like, I think it's important for, like, just couples, one, that love the Lord and that love each other, to be the ones leading the conversations and having conversations about relationships and love and life and all the things. So again, we're by no means experts, but we just want to have fun on this YouTube channel. So hopefully
we know a little something about marriage.
Oh my goodness. Okay, he thinks he's an expert now after 1 year. After 1 year, but yeah, we're super excited, and we're super excited to see where this YouTube goes. And like I said, just make sure to like and subscribe and share. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.